I wore a flowered, busy patterned blouse. I had big dangling earrings that caught the light. My soundbites, they were long, winding sentences that made me sound like I was reading from a textbook because honestly, I kind of was. I just felt like I had to memorize what I needed to say. Nobody pulled me aside and said, Bonnie, let me help you. No, there wasn't any roadmap to tell me what to do. I had to learn by doing and by making mistakes and by watching the playback and wanting to crawl under the table. But you know what? I showed up and I did it. And that was the start of what brought me to today. Well, hey there. Welcome to Media Savvy, the podcast that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to get noticed by media and become the go-to expert that they keep coming back to. I'll be sitting down with successful writers, producers, and entrepreneurs to learn the tools and tactics they use to build their reputation and in turn boost their business. I'm your host, Bonnie Taub-Dix, and I've been working with top-tier media outlets for more than 30 years, anywhere from traditional print publications to online and social platforms. And I'm sharing my nutrition guidance without gimmicks. But you don't have to be a dietitian for this podcast to speak to you. Through my one-to-one conversations, you'll learn how to build a strategy to get your name in the news and establish yourself as an authority in your field, no matter what the industry. With Media Savvy, I'm on a mission to inspire, motivate, and empower you to have the confidence and tools you need to shine in the spotlight. Are you ready? Let's get Media Savvy. Well, hey there. Welcome back to the Media Savvy podcast. I'm your host, Bonnie Taub-Dix, and I am so glad you're here today because this one is personal. So I've been doing this podcast for about 2 years now. Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that it was just our second anniversary. And I talk a lot about how to pitch, how to show up on camera, how to build a brand that actually goes somewhere. But today I want to talk about something that I've been working on for a long, long time. And between us, it's something I wish existed decades ago. Because if I had this, I would have saved myself a whole lot of strife, maybe even some embarrassment. So I wrote a book. And yes, I've written books before, but never one like this. And before you tune out thinking, she just wants to sell her book, just stay with me because this is something that I am just so proud of because I think that you are the best audience for this book. What I really want to tell you today is a story behind the book, why I wrote it, why I think you need it, and what's inside that is really just for you. So my book is called Louder Than Likes, How to Amplify Your Expertise and Make Media Work for You. And I couldn't wait to share it with you. When you read it, you'll see it's kind of like I'm right there with you having a conversation, not lecturing, not preaching, just straight talk to you the way that I would if we were sitting across from each other. So let me take you back, way back. I'm early in my career as a dietitian and I get a call. I'm going to be on a local TV station. And I was thrilled, but terrified, but yet thrilled. So I showed up thinking I was ready. And yes, I was ready with my nutrition information. I knew my stuff, but what I didn't know, what nobody really ever told me, was everything else that goes with doing a TV show. I wore a flowered, busy patterned blouse. Yes, that was on camera, which for anyone who's watched TV, you know exactly what happens with that. I looked like a moving optical illusion. I had big dangling earrings that caught the light, and I'm pretty sure that they were more interesting than anything that I thought I was saying at the time. My sound bites, they were long, winding sentences that made me sound like I was reading from a textbook because honestly, I kind of was. I just felt like I had to memorize what I needed to say. And here's the thing, nobody pulled me aside and said, Bonnie, let me help you. No, there wasn't any roadmap to tell me what to do. I had no mentor, just waiting there with the checklist. I had to learn by doing and by making mistakes and by watching the playback and wanting to crawl under the table. But you know what? I showed up and I did it. And that was the start of what brought me to today. And over the years, I kind of figured it out. I got better at soundbites because I realized that when you say something that is magnetic, people will actually want to listen to you. I learned how to dress for the camera and how to own the room and how to take a complicated nutrition topic and turn it into something that a viewer actually would remember. I learned how to pitch, how to negotiate, and how to say, here's what I need without apologizing for needing it. And at some point, I started teaching other dietitians and health professionals how to do the same. They came to me because they saw that I was doing what they wanted to be doing. And I thought, okay, why not show them? Why not teach them? Because I kept seeing the same pattern over and over again. Brilliant people, credentialed, passionate, and genuinely knowledgeable people, which, by the way, do not have to be dietitians. This could be doctors. This could be physical therapists. This could be anyone who's a professional who wants to get their name out there, but who had no idea how to translate that expertise into visibility and media moments. And most importantly, translate it into income. Louder than likes is what I wish someone had handed me on day one. So if you're a dietitian, a health coach, a wellness professional, a nutritionist, if you have the expertise that you know can help people, and you feel like that expertise is somehow stuck inside you, not reaching the people who need to hear it, then my book is for you. If you've ever watched a media segment and thought, I know more than that person, and then did nothing about it, yeah, this book is for you. And if you've ever felt like your Instagram post disappeared into a void, or your pitches didn't land, or you can't figure out why your message isn't connecting, yeah, you got it. This book is for you. And if you've ever felt like you weren't quite polished enough, confident enough, media savvy enough, then this book is absolutely 100% for you, because that feeling is exactly what I started with. You know, visibility isn't a personality trait, it's a skill. And skills can be learned. That's the premise of this entire book. It's not asking you to become someone different. I'm helping you become a more amplified version of yourself. Okay, so what's actually in it? Let me give you a feel without giving everything away, because the real magic is reading it for yourself. And by the way, you can just check out my book on Amazon, Louder Than Likes, How to Amplify Your Expertise and Make Media Work for You. And you'll find the whole table of contents. You'll find the first chapter. It'll give you a much better idea of what's in there. But in the meantime, let me give you a little hint. The book is built around what I call the 4 R's: recognition, reach, revenue, and results. And each of those 4 pillars has its own dedicated section that walks you through, step by step, how to actually build a media presence that does something. Recognition is about getting known, figuring out who you are as a media expert, what your message is, and what makes you different from the thousands of other nutrition professionals out there, or health coaches, or physical therapists. Because let me tell you, especially in my profession, a registered dietitian who can explain the glycemic index is not a media hook, but a registered dietitian who can explain why your grocery cart tells the story of your health and could really change the trajectory of your health. Now we're talking. Then there's reach. Reach is about actually getting in front of people, pitching, working with producers and editors, building your platform, social media done strategy, not just posting and hoping, actually having a strategy. Revenue is the chapter a lot of people are afraid to talk about out loud, and I talk about it very much out loud. How do you turn your media presence into actual income and brand deals, speaking engagements, book deals? Should you publish a book yourself, or should it be published by a publisher? Consulting, all of this are in there. How do you negotiate? There's a chapter on contracts. How do you know how to define what you're worth? How do you know what to ask for? All of this is in there. And results. Yeah, that's the long game. Building something sustainable, not just one hit at a time, but a real media career. Inside the book, you'll also find frameworks for building killer sound bites, the kind that sticks in someone's head long after the segment is over. You'll find scripts for pitching yourself. You'll find advice on how to work a room, how to handle a tough interviewer. Oh yeah, I love that chapter. How to look the part. And yes, We will talk about what to wear and what not to wear. I learned from those hard lessons very early on. There's a whole section on magnetic messaging, how to talk about what you do in a way that makes people lean in instead of tuning out. And there's guidance on CTAs, calls to action, that actually makes people want to get in touch with you, not just a generic follow me for more tips. Basically, it's everything I had wished someone had given me in a binder on my first day. But better than that, it's a book. It's a book that you could use as your guide and as your roadmap. But here's something I'm especially excited to tell you. Because I want this book to be more than something you read and then put on a shelf, I want you to be able to do the work seamlessly. So if you order my book now, this is for the first 100 people who purchased Louder Than Likes, How to Amplify Your Expertise and Make Media Work for You, I'm offering a companion workbook. And I want to be clear, the book stands completely on its own. You don't have to have the workbook, but the workbook has enormous value for you because it takes everything that you read and makes it into actionable tips that help you dig a little deeper into your values, a little deeper into your strengths and your talents. Think of the book as the map and the workbook as the GPS. One shows you the landscape, the other walks you turn by turn through your own journey. The workbook has exercises, prompts, and worksheets designed to help you apply what you're learning directly to your own brand, your own platform, your own career. It's not generic. It's built to make you think, really think about where you are and where you want to go. And I'm only doing this for the first 100 people because I want this to feel like what it is. It's a special thank you to early buyers, early readers who are all in. So if you're listening to this and you feel a little pull, that's for me, trust your feeling. Go get the book, claim your workbook, and let's do this together. So when you get your workbook, or if you would like your workbook, all you have to do is send me a proof of purchase. Either you could email me, mediasavvybtd@gmail.com, or you could DM me on Instagram your proof of purchase, and I will send the workbook directly to you. Okay, so just to wrap this up, writing this book was not a quick project. It took years of experience, thousands of hours of teaching, and a whole lot of reflection on my part. The wins, the stumbles, the moments I got it right, and the moments I absolutely did not. But I wrote it because I kept meeting people who were playing too small, who had so much to offer and didn't know how to offer it, who were just one pitch away, one segment away, one well-placed soundbite away from changing the trajectory of their career. This book is my way of sitting down next to you and saying, I've been where you are. I know the path. Please let me show you how to get there. Louder Than Likes, How to Amplify Your Expertise and Make Media Work for You is available on Amazon, and I'll put all the links in the show notes. And don't forget to send me your proof of purchase so I could give you your workbook. I think you're going to love it. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being exactly the kind of person who wants to keep growing. Until next time, speak up, show up, be louder than the noise that's out there. And by the way, you're looking mighty media savvy today. You can imagine after you read this book how you're going to be looking tomorrow. Okay, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.